Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name's Aubrey. And in today's video, we are talking about my 26 for 2026, i.e. my priority TBR for 2026. 26 books for 2026 is actually fucking insane. That means I have to read at least 2 a month, which as a mood reader, I don't know if that's gonna happen. Safe to say though, I am on a roll already because 2 of the books on this list, I have 1 read and one of them I've read and the other one I've started. So this is really exciting, but there also might be a little bit more than 26 because I can't always count correctly. And I'm also indecisive, so I probably did add a couple more, but that's okay. We're gonna get into it. I have a couple massive stacks of books around me. I'm not gonna go into like depth on probably any of these. It's just gonna be more of a rapid fire situation and maybe a word or 2 on them and like how badly I want to read them, how high up they are on my priority TBR. And it's not gonna be a lot of yapping because there's a lot of books to get through and I don't want to keep you guys here for forever and I don't want to talk for forever. So without further ado, let's get into it. I'm gonna start with the books that I don't own that either aren't out yet or I just don't have them, obviously. So the first one is Catabasis by R.F. Kuang. I want this book so bad. I want to get it so bad. I want to read it so bad. Just the concept of this is so interesting to me and I haven't read an R.F. Kuang book yet. I'm in the middle of one, but it's the first one, so I'm a little nervous about it, but I've just heard a lot of really good things about it and it sounds so intriguing. So Catabasis is definitely higher up on the priority TBR this year, but we will see because again I've heard a lot of good things, but I've also heard a lot of mixed things where it's like, oh, it's really good but it's really dense, and like I said, I've never read anything by R.F. Kuang before, so we shall see. The next ones are ones that aren't out yet but I'm so freaking excited for, and if they were out I would have dropped everything to read them already. And the first one is Deadbeat by Leigh Bardugo. I'm genuinely so freaking excited for this book. I've talked about this book in another video, I'm pretty sure, but I'm foaming at the mouth. So this is the 3rd book in the Alex Stern series. I can't even get too much into it because I will sit and yap about it for an hour, but I love it so much. The day that that comes out, that's all I'm gonna be doing, swear. And then another one that I'm really excited for is Victorious by V.E. Schwab. Oh my god, that's the 3rd book in her Vicious and Vengeful series, and I am so excited. I love both of those books so much and I will literally read absolutely anything that V.E. Schwab puts out there, so I'm so excited for that. The last one that I don't own, and that's also now, is Half City by Kat Golden. I fucking loved her. It was the Sacred Stones trilogy. It was so good. I haven't read it, Not for My Baby, but that's not on this list because it's a romance and I have not been in the mood to pick up a single romance. But Half City I'm pretty sure is Demon and Demon Hunter, I think. I'm not 100% sure, but that sounds so good to me and I'm so excited. I've heard a lot of good things about it. I really wish that I could get my hands on an early copy, but it's also coming out in February, so I'm just gonna have to buck up and wait for it. I am so excited for that though. Getting into the books that I do own, I'm gonna start with the one that I read and the one that I'm in the middle of. So the one that I read, actually the first book I read in 2026 was The Night and the Moth by Rachel Gillig. I devoured this. This was so freaking good. I cannot believe I waited so long to read it. It was freaking amazing. The gothic setting and Rory, I can't believe I waited so long for this, but I kind of wish I waited longer because now I'm stuck waiting for Knave and the Moon and I'm dying. But I love this so much. The book that I'm in the middle of is The Poppy Boy by R.F. Kuang. I am obsessed with this so far. I'm only 130 pages into this, but I'm hooked and I have been hooked from page 1. It's so freaking good. I am genuinely terrified though to see where it goes because I have heard so many people saying that this is emotionally devastating. So I'm really scared, but so far I'm really loving this. Now getting into all of the romances on my TBR, there's not a lot. Oh, I did miss one. Another one that I don't own that is a romance is The Mating Game by Lana Ferguson. I devoured The Fake May and I devour everything that Lana Ferguson writes. If I'm not in the mood for a romance and Lana Ferguson puts something out, I will probably pick it up and read it and love it because I fucking love everything they write. Mating Game is very high up on my TBR. I think it came out in December, so it's fairly new, but I just haven't gotten my hands on it yet. I need to because I love it. I loved The Fake May. I love that she's still writing that series or that world. I am so excited for it. But now, actually getting into the ones that I own. First one is God of Fury by Rena Kent. I'm pretty sure this is the 5th book in the Legacy of Gods series. And this is the Nico and Bran. This is an MM book. And the reason that I started reading this series is because of this book. And because of everything I've heard about this book. And I just need it. I need it in my brain. I need to experience Nico and Brandon. I need to, and it's going to happen even though I've only read the first 2 books. So I need to read 2 more to get to it, but it's going to happen and I'm so excited for it. The next one is Mate by Ali Hazelwood. Now this is the second book to Bride, which I devoured last year. I went on my Ali Hazelwood binge and read pretty much everything that she had out, and then she came out with this bad boy and I'm so excited for it. I'm so freaking excited for it. I loved Mate, and I love books with shifters in them. I am guilty. I do. They are probably genres. I don't know, one of my favorite themes in a book, tropes in a book. I don't know. Anything with shifters in it, I'm going to devour. I am fucking ready for this book. And then One Last Rainy Day by Kate Stewart. This book I have been putting off for so long because of how much Exodus fucking destroyed me. And just the idea of getting this book in his point of view makes me sick to my fucking stomach. And so I've been putting it off, but this is the year that I will read it because I need to read this one. I need to read Severed Heart, and I'm just not ready. I am just not ready. I am terrified. It is going to be devastating, and I know it, but I also know that I'm probably going to love it so much, but I am terrified. I am so scared. That is it pretty much for all of the romance that I have on my 26 for 2026, just because I have not been in the mood for romance, and I don't know if I will be in the mood for romance this year. I'm not going to say I'm not going to, because obviously we have a whole year ahead of us and I can't predict what the hell I'm going to feel. So I feel like I will, but it'll probably be like 1 month. Right, let me get through every romance book that I wanted to read and then I'll be done. But so getting into all of the fantasy I want to read, which there is a lot, because obviously we only got through a couple books, and pretty much the rest of this TBR is fantasy or romantasy, so bear with me here. Probably one of the highest on this TBR is Eternal Ruin, because I devoured Immortal Dark. I loved it so much, and this book needs to be consumed immediately. I need to pick this up immediately because I know it is going to hit so hard. I've heard people love this more than they loved Immortal Dark, and I loved Immortal Dark so fucking much, so I don't know how it's gonna get any better, but I'm really excited to see if it does. And I need to be back in this world. I need to see Suseños. I love him so much. This is probably top priority. I say that, but I'm again such a mood reader that watch me not pick it up until like fucking March. Eternal Ruin needs to happen because I need Suseños. I need Kidan. City of Gods and Monsters by Kayla Edwards. Now, she's thick. This is my year of thick books. I'm just calling it now. I have a lot of really big books on this TBR, but this one is one that I got this year because I heard so much about it on the internet, and I was like, I need to buy that and read it immediately. This sounds exactly what I'm in the mood for. And then I feel like a lot of us do this. We're like, oh, that's what I need. Let me go get it. And then I get it, and then it just sits on your shelves and you don't pick it up. I do that quite often, and that is what happened with this one. But I am going to pick it up because I've heard such amazing things about this, and the 5th book I'm pretty sure is coming out this year, the 5th and final book. And so I'm like, I need to read this series and get into it and just conquer it this year. But we will see, because again, I'm a mood reader. I will at least read book 1. I will at least start the series, even though I did say that one of my goals this year is to get through series and not start them, but just ignore that. But this is going to happen. I've heard that this is a lot like Crescent City. I've heard people say it's too much like Crescent City, but I loved Crescent City a lot, so I feel like if this is like Crescent City at all, I'm still gonna love it. You know, even if it's, oh, that's looking a lot like Crescent City's plot, but I'm just gonna put on my rose-colored glasses and ignore it and hopefully devour this and love it. Another one that I also fell prey to on the internet and was like, oh, I need that immediately, The Book of Azrael by Amber V. Nicole. I've heard such amazing things about this, and I have yet to pick it up. Why? I don't know. It would be right up my alley, and it's yet to happen. I need this to happen because I want to experience a really good romantasy series that like consumes my life, you know, that I cannot put it down. So I'm hoping either The Book of Azrael or City of Gods and Monsters. I'm hoping one of these is going to be that series for me this year, and I can read it, or I can pick it up, read it, and devour it. So we will see though. I need at least one romantic series that I binge in 2026 because I binged the Bonds That Tie series in 2025, and now I need to binge another one in 2026. So let's hope that it's one of those. When the Moon Hatched by Sarah A. Parker. She's thick. Again, I don't know if I'm gonna love this, but again, I've had it on my TBR for so long, and I got it as soon as I saw that it came out on paperback, and I need to read her. I don't really know anything about it. I know that there's dragons, and I'm really excited for that. I also know that there's a lot of mixed reviews out there about this, but I'm really hoping I like it. I really hope I like it because I think this is almost 800 pages. Okay, it's almost 700 pages. Still, that's a lot of time to put into a book, and so I'm hoping that when I pick it up, I end up loving it. And yeah, I don't know. I know the second book in the series is coming out soon, hence why I wanted to read it. Hopefully before then, or hopefully right around, like if I love it. But we will see, because like I said, I actually don't know what it's about, but it doesn't even matter. The next book is Fairy Tale by Veronica Lancet. This is, again, guys, I need to get off the internet. Because again, this was one that everyone was talking about for a little bit, and I was like, oh, let me go get that. That sounds perfect. I do think it's gonna be perfect. I do think it's gonna be like literally what I want of a book, because it's a dark gothic fantasy and I love that genre. I literally love it so much. So I think this is gonna do what I need it to do, but I've also had it for about a year and I haven't picked it up yet. Probably not about a year, but like going on, I've had it for a while, and it's just one of those where I'm like, oh, I'm gonna get it and read it, and then I get it and I don't read it. So this needs to happen. Again, I know nothing about this. I'm pretty sure the MMC has a tail. That's all I know, okay? What I knew has like fallen out of my brain because it's been sat on my TBR for so long. But this is just me pretty much manifesting my TBR for 2026. This is me manifesting me getting through a lot of my physical reads because I need to. And you guys are my witnesses. I'm putting it out in the world in hopes that I actually do what I say I'm going to do. But I am a liar, so. Alchemized by Senlin Yu. We all know what this is. This is literally the traditional publishing of a Draco Hermione fanfic called Manacled, and it's over 1,000 pages long, I think. Yeah, it's 1,024 pages. I have never read a book this big in my life, but I've heard really good things about it. I've heard this is another one that is emotionally devastating, and I want to know. I never read Manacled. I'm not a huge Draco Hermione fanfic reader and enjoy that, so I never read them, so I never read Manacled. But now that it's traditionally published and their names are not Draco and Hermione, I am excited for this. I am. So this will be being read. I'm pretty sure this is like kind of like a Handmaid's Tale-esque, maybe. I also know that this is like set if like in Harry Potter, like Voldemort side 1, I think. I don't know though. I don't know how to figure it out. Hopefully together. I'll probably vlog this if I read it because she's chunky and she's very popular, and I would just like to share my thoughts with you guys on this one. So, Alchemized. Anathema. We are just on a theme of dark gothic romantasy right now, because Anathema by Carrie Lake. I picked this up because I read Nocticadia by Carrie Lake and I fucking loved it. That book was phenomenal. I was like, okay, I need to read everything Carrie Lake has ever written. So I picked up Anathema next, and I am so excited for this. So this one is less romance though and more fantasy, but I am still really excited because I love Carrie Lake's writing and I love the worlds that she's created, and so I'm really excited to see what she does in this and just get to explore this dark gothic fantasy with a very small subplot of romance, which I feel like is going to feed me perfectly. Now, this is the one and only classic I have on this list because I cannot commit to classics. I want to read a couple classics this year, but this is the only one that I'm like, Aubrey, you have to read that, and it's because I want to watch the movie, and that is Frankenstein by Mary Shelley. I told myself last year when Frankenstein came out that I was going to read the book and then watch the movie, and obviously that never happened because again, I can't commit to classics, but this is the one that I'm doing this year that I'm like, I need to pick this up and read it so that I can watch Frankenstein the movie. So this is my one classic. Hold me accountable because I want to watch Jacob Elordi play fucking Frankenstein so bad. Or Frankenstein's creature. I want to watch Jacob Elordi play Frankenstein's creature so freaking bad. I've heard so many good things about that movie, and so I will be reading the book before I read the movie. Oh, why do I keep saying read the movie? I'm not fucking reading a movie, I'm watching a movie. I need to read the book before I watch the movie. Okay, we are getting into the last pile of books that we have today, which is exciting because I've been yapping for almost 20 minutes now, which probably could be longer, but like I said, I'm trying not to talk your guys' ear off. But getting to the last pile, the first book on this pile is The City of Brass by S.A. Chakraborty. Now, Chakraborty. S.A. Chakraborty? I'm so sorry, I'm definitely butchering that. This I've had for 3 years now. This out of all of these books on this list, this one and the next one have been on my TBR for the longest. And that is part of the reason why they're on this TBR to begin with, is because I want to finally read them and give them the time that they have honestly earned by sitting on my TBR for this long. And I have just heard, especially this one, I have recently heard a lot of really incredible things about it. And it's kind of one of those things where I got it and I'm like, oh, like I'll read it eventually. Kind of comes around, it's like, okay, this book is great. And it's like, okay, why haven't I picked it up yet? Because it sounds amazing. And it's like, I picked it up for a reason and then I just never got to it. So City of Brass by S.A. Chakraborty is going to happen in 2026 because I've heard nonstop amazing things about it recently, and because it deserves to be read, because it has been sat on my TBR for 3 years. And not even like, no, I feel like this is a year for it, because like I said, I've been really in the mood for high fantasy and just like more fantasy books, like more fantasy romance. And so this is going to happen this year. And then, like I said, another one that honestly has earned its time because it's been sat on my TBR for so long is The Prior of the Orange Tree again. Oh no, this one's by Samantha Shannon. So The Prior of the Orange Tree by Samantha Shannon. This has also been on my TBR for probably around 3 years and I need to pick it up. This one I feel like is valid though. At least in my brain, I can like, this is a huge book. Even though it's not that long. Like I have longer books on this, but just it's so terrifying because like, why is it so big? It's only like 800 and some pages. Like that's insane. But also hers is really dense and kind of hard to understand, which I'm kind of understanding because I started reading what is the first, A Day, a Fallen Night by Samantha Shannon, because I was like, oh, I'm gonna read that one before I read this one, just because I've heard if you read the prequel first that this one's easier to understand. But I am having a struggle trying to get through A Day, a Fallen Night because it is just, it's very confusing. About 100 pages into it, but it is very confusing and it's kind of hard to keep up with where you're at and what's happening with what person, especially because when you switch chapters and switch point of views, you only get like which direction you're switching in. It's like literally west, north, east, and then you get a different person. It's like, okay, who the are you? And it's really complicated, and just like the plot, I don't know if it exists. I don't know if there is a plot. I don't know if it exists at all. But I'm trying to get through A Day, Full Night so I can get through The Prior of the Orange Tree. Hopefully that is the only book on this like TBR pile that I'm like genuinely that I may not get to this year, just because of how dense it is and like all of the mixed reviews I heard about it. But I'm putting it out there. We will see. Red City by Marie Lu is gonna get devoured. I'm like, there's no ifs, ands, or about this. It's going to get devoured. Marie Lu is one of my favorite authors. I've only read her YA fantasy books though, but I am genuinely so fucking excited for this, and so it's going to get read. I literally don't have a lot to say about this because it's gonna happen. I'm reading it, excited. I don't really know a lot about it. I've heard it's kind of comparable to Jade City, but I'm fucking here for it. I've never read Jade City, but I'm excited. We're being joined by a special guest. This is Juno. She's a little baby who has some issues, but we're working on fixing that. She is a sleepy girl today. But the next book on this list is Empire of the Vampire by J. Kristoff. I have not read anything by J. Kristoff, but I am obsessed with vampires, and I've recently heard, actually I can't even say that. I haven't heard a lot of great things about this series. But I am obsessed with vampires, and so that's all I need out of this, is that there's vampires in it. And this is a really thick book too, but there's art in it, and some of the art is freaking incredible. Okay, we lost the baby, but that's because I was talking about Empire of the Vampire by J. Kristoff, and pretty much came to the conclusion that I don't actually know anything about this except that there's vampires in it, and I'm really excited to read it, you know? Like, look at this art. Like, there's art all over in this book, and I'm really intrigued by it, and I'm really intrigued by J. Kristoff. And so I picked up book 1 just because I was like, okay, I'm gonna give book 1 a try, and if I don't like it, I won't continue it. But I am really excited for that one, and I'm hoping that I love it because, again, I love vampires. I don't know if it's like comparable to any of the vampire books I've ever read. Probably. Actually, definitely not. But I'm still gonna go, especially because it's high fantasy, and like I said, I've been in a really big mood for that. Hence the next 5 books on this list, because Mistborn by Brandon Sanderson, I am going to delve into Brandon Sanderson in 2026. It's happening. He has so many books and so many like massive fans that I just need jump on the Brandon Sanderson train, and so I'm going to. And I've heard that you should start with Mistborn. I'm pretty sure Brandon Sanderson said that there's no reading order, like it doesn't matter what you read. So what you read first, I mean, or like the order of reading. And so I'm just gonna start with Mistborn because I've heard that. I'm gonna read the first 3 books in the Mistborn trilogy or saga. I don't know. I know there's the original trilogy, and then I'm pretty sure there's like 4 more books later, the Wax and Wane maybe. But I'm gonna read the first 3 books in the Mistborn trilogy, and then I don't know where the fuck I'm gonna go from there, but I'm gonna go somewhere and we will see. We will see. But to be delving into Brandon Sanderson this year, I've heard this is incredible, and I'm pretty sure Mistborn is like very heisty, and I am all for that. I am all here for that. Will of the Many by James Islington. This is happening. It is happening. It is happening soon. I need to have the knowledge of this book in my brain. I need to. I've heard so many amazing things about this, and just the concept of it sounds like I would love it so much. But I'm pretty sure he like infiltrates a school and he's spying, main character spying, but like for different, like multiple different groups of people, and it just sounds complicated and really freaking interesting. And so I am going to be reading this. I'm going to be devouring it. Like I said, I've heard so many amazing things about this, and it has been so hyped up that I am just ready to jump on this freaking bandwagon and understand the hype. I hope it lives with hype for me too, because I am so excited to pick this up. Jade City by Fonda Lee. Again, another one I've heard nonstop amazing, incredible things about this series, and I've yet to pick it up. And I need to. I haven't had it for very long, I will say that, but I have nonstop had it in my head, and so I finally purchased it, and so I'm not going to let it sit on my TBR for very long. It's going to happen in 2026, and I'm really excited. I know that this is about, I'm pretty sure, different gangs and Jade, which I'm pretty sure is like the magic system, and like it's the main source of power series. But again, I don't know a lot. I just know I've heard a lot of amazing things, and I'm really, really excited for this one. It's happening. I won't let it happen because I need the knowledge of this in my head. This is a trilogy too, which I think is the perfect size. Love trilogies. I've even literally thought about doing like a little reading challenge this year where I should read 1 trilogy a month, which could get kind of crazy because some trilogies are long, but I've been thinking about it because like I am reading the Farseer trilogy right now, and I'm through the first 2 books, but then that does mean that I have to read Assassin's Quest before February, and that book is 800 pages long. But that's for a different video. Next book, we're down to our last 2 people. Malice, John Gwynne. Now this I think is actually called the Faithful and the Fallen. This is Faithful and the Fallen series. This is a quartet actually. This is 4 books. I know this is John Gwynne's first series. That's all I know. That's all I know to John Gwynne. I've had this for, I actually think, a year now. I think I have, because I'm pretty sure I got it for last year for either Christmas or my birthday. And so this has been on my TBR for years, seeing as my birthday is tomorrow. I wanted it so bad, I wanted to read it so bad, but then I got it and I was like, whoa, that's kind of intimidating. That's kind of big. It looks like it's going to be hard to understand, and then I just kind of wrote it off, but it's like, we are not doing that in 2026. I don't care if it's long. I don't care if it's going to be hard to understand, but because I'm going to figure it out. I'm going to figure it out. And it's going to happen this year, because the 2 authors, John Gwynne and Brandon Sanderson, I just need to get into them this year. And so John Gwynne is going to happen. I'm either going to start with Malice or his Bloodsworn Saga trilogy, because I've heard that one's kind of an easier step into John Gwynne's world. But nonetheless, I will be reading Malice in 2026 because I need to, and that's the one of his that I'm most excited for, so it's gonna happen. And then last but definitely not least is Iron Gold by Pierce Brown. I'm actually gonna get through the entire second trilogy in the Red Rising saga because I loved Red Rising so much, and this is just like, I'm so excited but so nervous to see where this goes. But this will be happening in 2026. I am really excited because I know that we're still following Darrow, and he is my favorite. He's my favorite. I get fucking Severo as well. If I don't get any Severo, you won't hear from me again. You won't. But I'm so excited for this. I love this so much. This is also honestly really high on my TBR because I'm so obsessed with it, but it might be put to the back burner just because I am terrified to pick it up. But we will see. I will keep you guys updated because I will probably honestly, I'm hoping to get a lot of reading vlogs this year. I'm hoping a lot of these books that I mentioned will be in the reading vlog, just because I am really excited for a lot of them. But that is it. That was all 26, probably more because I did not keep count. I just got the ones that were on my list, and I don't even know if there was 26 on the list or if there was more. But that is all 26 books for my 2026 TBR. Let me know what some of your guys' priority reads are in 2026, and I hope to see you in the next one. Goodbye.